What's up, dudes? Just want to let you know that us at Paranormal Dudes do not support any type of PDF files, essay, or domestic violence. With that, let's get on to the show.
Welcome back, everyone. If you are a huge fan of Ed and Lorraine Warren, maybe click away. If not, if you're interested, maybe stick around. As the legendary ghost hunters behind the Conjuring movies, they might have a controversial story as well. And we're kind of dive into that a little bit. A little muddy. There's a side of the Warrens maybe you don't want to see. There's big accusations of manipulation, exploitation, and even SA. Tonight, we're not talking about demons. We're talking about the demons in their personal lives. And if it is true and what our thoughts are on it. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. What is up, dudes? Welcome back to the Paranormal Dudes podcast, episode 66. Well, it's been a whole week since we last spoke to you guys and the last time we spoke to each other. Not really. We send each other memes and say stupid shit to each other throughout the week until it leads up to Sunday, and that's when we film. What's up, guys? So has anything crazy happened to you guys in the paranormal since the last time we filmed? Doesn't seem like it.
Not to me. I just had the sleep paralysis again. I keep going to this same room that like I'm living in this place, not this place, but like some certain place. And then there's this room that is like a whole nother unit. And for some reason, like when I have the sleep paralysis and like all that, it happens to be because of that room. So every time I go, it's like abandoned. Like there's nothing in that room. It's just like imagine like say an apartment. And every time I go in that room in my dream, I feel like super weird, and I wake up and I'm paralyzed. And I try to go back into it, and then like I'm in and out of sleep, paralyzed. And then once I walk back into the regular room, like where my regular dream was at, my dream finishes. Like I continue my whole dream. But it's only when I go into that room when I wake up, like in real life, into like sleep paralysis.
Strange.
So I have no idea. I've been trying to like
nothing on the walls, nothing. It's just an abandoned room. There's no way to identify if it's something. There's nothing. It's just an empty room.
Just imagine no windows. Just imagine like a unit with like the kitchen, like the appliances are there, but it's like dirty. It's like it's been abandoned.
See, like the style of appliance, like to kind of pinpoint a time frame. Like is it today's day? Is it like
no? It's like,
can you get it? Is it readily available at Best Buy? Jesse's.
It's like it's like somebody bought them at Sears, like that time.
Like
and
okay.
Even like the feel of the like popcorn ceiling. Like the colors are like they're like beige, tan, white.
It sounds very 90s.
The tile is not like, it's like a yellowish color with like some design, and there's like, I haven't gone to the bedroom. I don't know if it's a studio or if it's an actual like one bedroom, but there's a certain like dark side on the left side because the kitchen is like you walk in and then it's like the kitchen is right on your left, like a little hallway type of thing, and then it's the living room right in front, and then around that corner of the wall it's just dark, and I haven't been there yet, and that's what I was trying to get to today, like because I haven't been that far into the room. But
Interesting.
something about that dream, I always wake up paralyzed when I go into that room. And when I get out, I continue my sleep and I continue my dream.
Sounds like the 90s. 90s or 80s. See, it sounds like this ghost is like, enough with Paranormal Dudes and the 80s aesthetic. To just stop already.
What if? Yeah, but I didn't feel like, even I usually hear voices or stuff like that when I'm like in that paralyzation state. I didn't hear anything, so I'll just keep trying. Honestly,
that's crazy to think that Oscar says that I'm gonna keep trying. Like he's just gonna, I don't know, like he's gonna keep trying to throw a ball in a basket or something. He's just like, I'm gonna keep trying, but it's like sleep paralysis. It's
Did you guys see
like,
Buddy's camera do like
Buddy's
a weird
camera.
glitch thing? That was so weird.
Was a weird glitch. That was a weird glitch.
Because it wasn't like his face, right? And then like it went to his face. It's weird.
It like mirrored.
Not. Yeah, it like, look,
Is that
it's
again?
kind
It's
of
still trying to do it again. On my side, my face is all green.
It's so weird.
Oh, we just started the show. We just started the show, and
they're like, nothing happened, motherfuckers. Here you go.
I know. So nothing happened to you. All right, let's give it to him. That Jesse, do you feel anything from Buddy? Like
I do.
Off of that? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm hearing like whistling in my head, in my headphones. Not whistling, but like now I have pain in my back.
It's like something coming from like that corner, not where your hat is, but the other side.
The left side.
I'm feeling like
right.
I'm hearing like brakes squealing from a long distance.
Like a train.
Oscar, in a semi truck, Oscar, where you're hitting the brakes and it's like a long air brake like squeal. I'm hearing that right now in my headphones, and it comes in.
Wait, why are you asking Oscar about the semi?
Because I'm a truck driver now, bro.
He's a semi truck simulator. Is that why? For anybody that doesn't know, Oscar for fun plays. It's semi truck simulator, right? That's what it is.
ATS. Yeah.
How fun.
ATS. Okay, well, that's what we have this week. If you enjoy that part of our show, sorry we don't have much. Hopefully we have more in the next one.
Hopefully we'll be haunted more.
Hopefully we will get possessed and haunted this week so we can have stories for you guys. But we're all here for one reason, and you're here for one reason. Buddy, ask. You have the floor.
I guess we'll just kind of start off with what we're going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
You've already kind of told our viewers, we're going to be talking about Ed and Lorraine. We're seeing all their great work, the movies, the cases, all those different things. And this episode is really for you guys to, we're not here to convince anybody on what side. We're not here to take any sides, but we're going to give our opinion as to what we think based on what we've gathered and what we put together. And you can get the same thing too by just doing some quick searches, right? Looking for some credible sources. But we're going to bring it to you guys here, concise, so that way you guys can either be haters of Ed and Lorraine, or you guys can be with Ed and Lorraine. And honestly, if you guys don't like it, then I don't know. That's part of our show, right? Being able to kind of tread on that line and give you guys that information so you guys can decide. So I'll go ahead and if Buddy, you're ready, I'll kind of tag you in here just to kind of kick it off. I know you did a lot of research and a lot of our stuff is going to kind of overlap. But I'm curious to see what you guys, or if anybody will just open it up. Like, what do you guys think about when you guys first heard that there was a controversial side?
Okay, so I'm going to come at this in a truthful and transparent, practical way. I have seen videos in the past of different creators on the internet already talking about these controversies, but a lot of these creators are convinced, so they have absolute opinions about it. They're not really, they're just like, I believe it. They're not questioning it, which I feel like with these kind of accusations, you have to, because everything's so blanketed now, where it's just like, oh, this person is, whatever. This person's committed whatever heinous crime without like due process. And that's what we're here for tonight. Is all of us are going to make our own conclusions. You are too, our audience, and you basically go from there. If you're a fan of the Warrens on an entertainment level, just a surface level, and you're not familiar with everything that we're going to discuss tonight, maybe we'll open up your brain or your ears a little bit tonight, and you can make your own decision or discussion. We're not going to be here tonight, like Oscar said, trying to convince anybody or say this is how it is, but these are allegations that are out there. And I'm sure there are going to be a handful of people that have seen these allegations or have heard of them. There's some people that don't want to hear it and are just completely biased. I personally don't know the Warrens on a personal level. I don't think any of us on here do. But that's currently where I am before you guys jump into anything that I may or may not know. And I know Buddy did a lot of research on it, so I'm very curious to see and hear what he has to say on all his findings. What about you, Jess?
I feel like when it comes to Hollywood, nothing surprises me nowadays with all these weird shit coming out with allegations from everybody and everything. And
Yep.
so I mean, I didn't do as much research on it. I kind of did, but I believe it.
Yeah, honestly, even before we got this topic, I didn't even know. You didn't even think about like their personal life or like anything bad about them, because I was kind of like what you said, Sergio. Like, I only come from like seeing, their movies, stuff like that. I don't really
like the pop
dive
culture
into
side.
Yeah, the pop culture stuff. I finally got down like the timeline of all their movies and figured out, hey, like there are actual cases. It's not just made up. So.
Especially because they're all like, religious, and you think of her like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, bud?
So you guys are saying I did a lot of research. I'm gonna be real honest. I did a lot of really quick research, but enough that I kind of got versed into the world of Ed and Lorraine and what really goes on outside of Hollywood. And you guys are right. The stories that they put up as far as their movies and such and their timeline, those are all off of real cases.
Yeah.
Of course, everything is dramatized and it's made a lot bigger and a lot scarier for Hollywood. But a lot of this coming from my research is going to be pretty subjective because I'm not a big fan of Ed and Lorraine. But I will say I do believe in the work they did. But with the research that I went into, it kind of brought out a lot of other stuff that I wasn't so much expecting to hear from them, especially seeing their personas that are played off in the movies, the romantic couple, and they take care of each other and they work well together. And once I dug a little deeper, the fanboy in me was crying out, this could be true, but I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
Which totally makes sense. It does.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because before we even started this filming today, I talked to my wife about it. I was like, "Did you know there was this side?" And she's like, "No way! Like, there's no way that can happen. Whatever." And that's because you got to think of it, right? The Warrens, like, they created this image, or the image was created. I don't know if they did it on purpose.
Their estate did with like the Hollywood side of it.
Yeah,
right.
with all that, it created an image of like, and then even back then, right? Like, if you were to see somebody that was religious, right? They're fighting against evil. They're helping families, documenting everything so people can, I didn't know they had books either, which is something that I found with the research. They're able to pass on that information, and then Hollywood reinforcing that image now. Like, when a brand is built around that morality and religion and purity and all that, people expect that they don't do anything bad or never did anything bad, right?
Yeah,
but there was a life before all that came, and that's what we're going to dive into today, right? And
it's funny you say that because I am guilty of that. when I say that I saw a video or a slew of videos about this, it was kind of like it was during the marketing campaigns for the last rites of the current movie that just released. And it would happen during that time. And I was on the other side of the coin where because everything you outlined, because of the purity, the religious side of it, and how they're portrayed in the movies. Like I said, I don't know them personally whatsoever. And I was very much in the belief of these were great people because of what they were doing for other people that were experiencing hauntings or, paranormal phenomena. And that was it. You can kind of see that in our older videos. When we talk about the Warrens, that is very much prevalent in how we're talking. Now, a lot of this is kind of oozing out of the internet now. Obviously, if it landed on my algorithm,
Mhm.
so at least we get to have an open discussion about it. I'll let you go ahead and continue, Oscar.
Yeah, and I feel like it's because like this last movie was like, I mean, anybody that hasn't watched it, you're watching. I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil it right now. So skip. But it just feels like they did it for money, kind of.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we'll get into the first kind of alleged like allegation. Buddy, I don't know if you want to start this one off on segment two.
Go ahead
Segment
and
one.
take it from here, and I'll follow on with you.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing, while doing research and really like looking at their background, is the essay, right? The alleged. Could I say that word?
Relationship
Alleged
with.
A.
Mhm.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
I believe her name was Penny, right? And it was only up until 2017 where these documents started to surface, right? Where it was claiming that Ed was having or had a relationship with, at the time, a teenager in the 1960s. And she lived with them. There's more details that we'll get into after I kind of do this framework here, but lived with them for decades. Lorraine knew about it, and there was
Oh.
reports that Ed controlled her and did a lot of other things that Lorraine also kind of was tied into in kind of keeping that image from coming out. So, which is extremely crazy. Of like, this was the first thing when I looked it up and I was researching, I was like, there's no freaking way. Like, kind of like, Buddy, how you said that inner like fanboy was like, no way. Like, that was me. I was like, dude, there's no way this happened. Like, because of the image
Kind
that
of
I
like
already
Wizard
had
of
of them.
Oz. You're like peeking behind, the curtain almost. Yeah, I
I
get
can
it.
see that though, because there's so much, especially in the 1960s, the mentality is like you're married, it's your husband, and if they're religious, like you stand by your husband regardless of what's happening. So, and I've seen it a lot in my family members that have had issues and stuff like that. Like, obviously my tias and older people, that they'd like, regardless of what happens, it's like you have to protect your image. You have to protect what we're building. And it's
Optics.
basically like their money, right? It's like their literally, it's not just a career, but it's like their
Yeah.
home and their everything.
So where is
Oh,
that
yeah,
line drawn though? Like between their personal life and the work that they do? Because dude, it's pretty, buddy. I don't know if you want to go into the details of exactly what happened if you have those details, but it's kind of like they're pretty much groomed throughout her life.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
what
mean,
ended up happening here
go for
was
it.
Judith Penny was her name. She was brought
Mhm.
into the Warrens homestead. I guess that's kind of like an adoption. She was a troubled youth, is what I read, and yeah, Ed made her, and he called her the love of his life, even though he was
Oh.
married to Lorraine. But see, as far as the story goes, even with Ed and Lorraine, this whole minor essay that happened, this PDF files, with this PDF files that was going on, it didn't start with Judith Penny. The story goes
Oh.
that Ed was actually a police officer in the town where he met Lorraine. And the story goes that he was doing a report in his unit, and as he looked up, he saw what he believed was the most beautiful woman in the town woman that he had seen in the town. And him and Lorraine made eye contact. Lorraine then waved at him, and he decided to drop the report and follow her in the vehicle that she was in. He turned on his lights and sirens and went chasing after her. And when he finally caught up to where she was at, she was walking into a store. And as he pulled up, she turned around, made eye contact, and waved again. So at that point, he kind of gave up the chase until another officer met Lorraine that same day, set them up to meet, and they met. At this point, Lorraine was supposed to only be 16 years old. So he was already attracted to younger females. Yeah. And so once they were married, they brought in this girl, Judith, and all the allegations that I studied in and looked into, they're all pretty similar. He went on to, I guess it was a PDF file for about 3 years, because started when she was 15. But it went on for 40 years. And there's more to the story that comes to that as well. But yes, Lorraine did know. And there was even stories from alleged people that came out in the movies or were part of the production crews of these movies, that Lorraine Warren was part of the production of every one of the Conjuring movies, except this last one.
Right.
But throughout that whole production, there was a contract signed by Lorraine and by the production company that said they wouldn't bring up any of those
allegations. Okay.
No, any of those. There's many others that I'm sure we're going to get into further in this pod, but they didn't even want Judith to come up as far as she lived in the house. She was more of just
not even a side character, nothing at all, right?
Supposedly she is a side character in the Annabelle movie, right?
Yeah.
Like when she's babysitting the daughter, because she would babysit their daughter. She truly would. So I want to say that's the Annabelle one, right? When they're stuck in their car breaks down near a cemetery.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah, where he's transporting the doll, and then whatever. So in that one, you do see a 15-year-old character that's living there, that's watching their daughter. Right. So it just kind of gives you.
So,
but I think
that. Go ahead, sir.
Oh yeah. Go. No, you're good. You're good.
I was just hearing that. How does that make you guys feel? Just by, does that change? Because we kind of already gave a little bit of stance before, but he kind of shared that. I have something else to share on top of this, but I just want to get you guys a little checkpoint here before I share this.
I mean, for me, it's like I said, I don't personally know them. So I only know the surface level Ed and Lorraine Warren from what I saw, when I saw Lorraine Warren on Ghost Adventures and beyond, and having her involvement with the Conjuring movies. Obviously, they did a very good job at hiding or creating a barrier for this information, because I didn't know. I didn't know for a very long time, up until recently, and up until a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe. And no, I would say a month. So currently, how I feel hearing this information and kind of seeing what I've seen a month ago, I'm kind of on the fence now, because how they're portrayed in the movies is very different than, what all of these allegations are. And my nature is to question everything anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence right now, because I don't know. I don't know the actual truth. I don't know any of the core details to the stories. So at the moment, maybe it'll change at the end of the episode, but I'm sitting on the fence, by myself with my hands on the, like I'm in trouble because I'm not making a decision. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. What about you, Jesse?
I'm reading so many. Well, I read a lot of things. So a lot of this topic is just of the PDF files and like a lot of traffic and a lot of, stuff like that. It's just like, I don't want to say I'm always going to believe it, but when it's like patterns and then like when I don't know, I just believe with so much crazy stuff that they are gonna hide so much shit to protect a brand. They are gonna have, obviously people working for them that are hiding stuff for them, that are maybe even finding young girls for them, that are even, who the hell knows? I feel when you have that amount of money or you have like this huge brand, like you can literally hire somebody to do anything for you.
Right.
So, I mean, as far as like how I see them, it was also just surface like, okay, these movies are creepy or whatever. But I mean, it's just, I don't doubt that this happened.
Okay. I'm going to reveal a little. Well, first of all, I didn't know that, buddy, that was how Ed and Lorraine met, like that much detail that she was, in her teens, all that. But that kind of explains the fact of why she was okay with it, because she was like
Because
she
she was
experienced.
groomed herself.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. Right.
why she's gonna be a hypocrite if she says no, you can't have that. It's like, well, you let me do it. So
What's their age difference? Do you guys know their age or what their age difference was?
with
Let's
Judith
see.
or Lorraine.
Lorraine and Ed.
Oh, I don't think
I didn't catch that.
Let's
Because
see.
like Oscar was just saying about how they met,
Mhm.
and then he was asking how we felt about this, and I'm just going to stick to what I said in the beginning. I think I'm also on the fence. I'm going to be very subjective because getting deeper into it, there's other ways or other stories that are described of how they met.
Right.
So they start talking about how Ed was he met Lorraine as a police officer, like I had just mentioned. They also
Mhm.
said that Ed met her at a movie theater where he worked.
Yeah.
Same story though about the
Okay.
age. She was underage, but the different stories that come out from different, reports and stuff that I've read on them and everything, they just they're gonna keep me very subjective because I'm trying not to let the fanboy get beat the other way.
Yeah,
But
of course.
you
So I looked at their date of births, their DOBs for
Mhm.
both of them. So the first story is a little questionable, to say the least, because Lorraine Warren was born in 1927 and Ed was born in 1926.
Mm. Well, there it
Yeah.
is. Fight about
Oh.
it in the comments.
Right about it. Yeah, you can make your own decision. So it's, I don't know, that first story, it's in question now, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe that one's in question, but let's talk about Judith and their age difference. So Penny, or what was Penny, Judith, she was actually in her 70s when she came forward and claimed that, she was living with the Warrens for
Yeah.
decades and that she was in a relationship with Ed, which began when Judith was only 15 years old and Ed was already in his mid 30s.
Oof.
Okay. Now it gets juicier. According to Judith, Lorraine was fully aware of this relationship. And she also claimed that she got pregnant by Ed in May 1978. After which, Lorraine allegedly convinced her to have an unalivement of it and tell
Mhm.
people that she was
You're
Essayed.
searching for the word.
taped by a home invader.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Graped.
Or
great.
great.
There you go.
That
Yeah.
works too.
So I
Taped. I
looked.
was like, they taped her?
So I looked a little bit more into like the living situation, and when she was younger, she was living with them. As she got
Hmm.
older, she lived above them in the unit above them or the floor above
Oh,
them,
I see.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, but
At their house, at their estate
yeah,
there, or okay.
or it's because some of them say of like the floor on top, and other ones have said like the unit on top. So I don't know if they're referring to like a specific room or a home or an apartment or anything like that. But that was what pretty much happened with them, and she came forth and said that that's what she was told to do. So
But that's what really happened. Okay.
I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
I read
mentions
that.
like how he was manipulative and how he would
Mhm.
like physically abuse and groom. So I mean, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, I had read about that, the
Gross.
grooming and everything, and
Yeah, I saw all of that
I
too.
I too read that that she lived above them, and that was according to the living situation was supposedly Ed put her in a room above them, so if she tried to escape at night, he would hear her.
wow.
Oh,
Apparently,
okay.
somehow, somewhere, she had wanted to get away, and Ed
Mhm.
wouldn't allow her to. And also the termination that she had, um, that was Lorraine wasn't really from reading it wasn't really a she didn't really convince her. She more gave her an ultimatum: either you get it done, or we're going to put you out in a bad position, because at the time it was actually illegal for a single woman to live with a married man in the same household. So they were going to turn her over to the authorities, saying, hey, she's living with Ed Warren, which is married, and it's illegal for her. So he wouldn't have a problem with it. She would.
In that county, or it
Yeah.
was it
where they
like
were from.
local laws? Okay.
Yeah.
In
And then during
Connecticut?
the times, I mean, it was also different, but
Mhm.
they did that. And apparently they drove her over there. They dropped her off. They had her do the thing. Picked her up afterwards, dropped her off at home, then took off and went and did one of their talks like any normal day. It wasn't anything for either of them.
Yes.
And in the end, it was said by Judith herself in 16 or 17 when she came forward to tell everybody about it. The reason they didn't want anybody to know was because it was going to hurt their book sales. They had hit
their
a
brand.
level of they had hit a level of popularity that they
Notoriety.
couldn't they couldn't damage that anymore. So
Mhm.
they had to go about what they did.
I wonder if they
Discreetly.
paid her. Because it says like consent in Connecticut was 16. So all she needed was like one more year to be able to escape.
It's so
I mean, it's
weird to
disgusting
think
that
that,
the
but
legal age in Connecticut at that time was 16 anyways.
right.
But, it's all about control.
That's wild.
And
But
yeah,
all
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
yeah, all the things that like you just said, buddy, about her, why she was upstairs. It's like we see that in patterns of everybody else that has been in situations like this, right? Like you
Yep.
put them up there so you can hear them. Like what the
Mhm.
heck, dude? That's like, you know. So that is when I started to read that, and now that you've mentioned that, I'm leaning towards this is true because
And
the
maybe that's why they
behaviors.
romanticize them so much in the movies because they weren't really like that in real life.
What if that was
Yeah.
a romantic relationship that is
Between
being
Ed and the
mirrored?
girl, and it's
Yeah,
mirrored onto to Lorraine and
exactly.
Ed.
Yeah,
I mean,
could be.
it's a possibility. Like maybe, because Lorraine was consultant for the film when she was still alive, because she passed in 2019, I think. And yeah,
But the son-in-law
obviously
also
she's
had
the what?
the son-in-law, that Tony guy, he also had,
Oh, Tony
Oh, yeah.
Spera. Yeah.
yes, he also had
Tony Spera, there's a
reproduction.
whole other like level with that guy. He's got his own issues. We could probably have a full on episode about him. But I guess what I'm just trying to say about Lorraine Warren is that she was there consulting for the movie, so I'm sure she was a part of the writing process. I'm sure she was a part of every piece of the puzzle along the way. So if she's there to make sure things are, I don't know, focused in a certain way, or um, not including certain things so that people won't have a question of thought, if that were the case, then I think she did a good job.
Yeah, it was, well, like I said, there was a supposed contract that was written by Lorraine Warren,
like you said,
to the movies. And another thing that came up upon not only the how do we say, the PDF files or the essay or anything like that, was also Ed was very physical and verbally abusive to Lorraine. There was even accounts of Ed actually till she was unconscious. And it was because Lorraine, even though she found out at a young age that she could see things, that she was clairvoyant, Lorraine didn't want to be a part of the investigations.
No way.
Ed
When she was younger. When she was younger.
Apparently, much like her daughter Judy, she really didn't want to be a part of it because Lorraine was a very big skeptic of the paranormal, and Ed was a self-taught demonologist, and he had an experience with what he said was an apparition that appeared in his home, his childhood home, of a deceased family member. So he was more of the, let's push the paranormal stuff because you can do this. And Lorraine just was like, I see things, I don't want to go and find it. And well, being married, being a couple of those years, that those decades, he would physically and verbally abuse her, so that she would do what he asked. Where, it brings up a lot of other stuff that goes with it, but there was accounts where they said Ed to the point of unconsciousness because she would refuse to go on certain investigations or just didn't want to be a part of the society like Ed wanted to.
I didn't see
he
those.
Probably saw money too. I mean, I'm sure he wanted to.
Like, I mean, if you really think about it, and they're trying to protect a brand back then, he probably saw the avenue, and he was going to do anything in his power to make sure that road was paved without anybody messing it up. I didn't know about everything you just spoke on, buddy. I was familiar more on the essay portions and the allegations surrounding that, but it's kind of disturbing. Not kind of, it is disturbing. Especially because for the better part of the 2010s up until this point, now we're in the 2020s, if you really think of it on a surface level, we've seen TikToks from people that are head over heels over the movies, and they think the stupid Annabelle movie, the stupid Annabelle doll that's in the movie is the actual Annabelle, and that it's really haunted, but it's not. I wonder what the percentage is of the people that are familiar with it or know any details about this story, because for the better part of the 2010s and 2020s, they were revered by so many people. And the way that they're painted in these movies, they look like saints. They look like, pure people that are out there just to help people and to help others. But in reality, there's a dark past behind it. Whether it's true or not, that's up to everybody listening or watching to decide that. And we're just presenting all of that information now, and we're kind of experiencing it together on the show, and coming up with our own conclusions and deciding what the reality of it is. And that's just what I wanted to touch on real quick.
Cool. Now we're gonna take a little turn. Right now that we've kind of uncovered this behavior.
There's a turn in this. There's more.
Well,
oh my gosh.
We're gonna kind of steer away from the essay and all that, but just of the behavior that we just uncovered of, now we're starting to really see what kind of a person we think Ed and Lorraine are. Right. So now this kind of arises a lot of questions on the work that they did. Right. Because if they were able to do things like this, what doesn't tell you that they can do other things in a certain different way or certain different thing? And that is where I bring up the certain cases and the allegations and questions of their investigations and exploitation that people have thought they've done. And starting off with one of the first ones is the Amityville horror case,
which
right?
is
And
the case that it kind
Made
of
them.
made them mainstream. Yeah, for sure.
So if you were to tell somebody, or just knowing, right, what we just spoke about, and then you tell them, hey, well, do you, for even like 1%, think that that case was maybe exaggerated or fabricated a bit?
And this is me just being subjective and being honest. For the most part, especially like ghost hunting shows, like Ghost Adventures. I love Ghost Adventures, but at the same time, I know for a fact a lot of it is exaggerated and dramatized to increase ratings or continue,
Or
binge
entertainment.
watching. Yeah, it's entertainment, but the intricacies of it is to maintain an audience. And I think that's ultimately what Ed was trying to accomplish with all of his cases, or the Warrens cases. In this case, it's the Amityville horror case. So I would say if there's a certain degree of truth behind it, yes, there may be. And there's documentation of stuff that really did happen in that home. Would Ed exaggerate it so that it could have a far reach as far as media goes? Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel.
What do you? All right. What about you, Jesse? Buddy, what do you guys think about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree because when reading on those cases or reading whatever, I agreed like shit did happen. You have to make it. People are gonna want to see, are gonna want to relate. They're gonna want to see more drama. They want to be scared. So of course, you're gonna exaggerate a little bit. But did it happen? I feel like these cases, yes. In this one, yes, it did happen.
Yeah, it's actually one of the first movies that I saw. I didn't know it was their case, but
The Ryan Reynolds one with his glistening
Oh
body.
God,
Is that the
no.
one?
I watched that scene 13 times this morning.
It's like rewind.
It was so good.
Well, I hear you guys say that it really did happen, and like Oscar was saying, the dramatization was really, really built up by Ed and Lorraine Warren as far as their investigation went for this. There was a lot of stuff put into the movies, a lot of things put into the family stories, because the Defoe family was the one that was affected, where there was the murders, the extra murders and everything. Ed and Lorraine did do an investigation there. It was one that put them on the map. They did find some kind of what they allegedly said was negative spirits, or negative a malevolent spirit, as what Lorraine described it. And after all these things that happened, and all this media that they got and publicity that they got from it, and it went really well, that they were haunted and something made it happen, the families started coming forward, along with William Defoe. That was his name, right? DeFeo. No, DeFeo.
Not
DeFeo.
Willem Dafoe.
Not Willem Dafoe.
Not
Wrong guy. DeFeo.
I love Willem Dafoe.
For sure. Right. He actually came forward and he said that the story that he brought out, that voices were telling him to do this, and they were coming from the walls, and that the spirit or whatever, he ended up coming forward and saying none of that was real.
Right.
He brought it up in his story to try and plead like insanity. And apparently, from what, this is a story I read though, because I'm still with you guys, I want to believe everything here actually happened. But DeFeo, I guess, came out and said that none of this happened. This was all part of how they were going to plead insanity, and that his legal team is what brought in Ed and Lorraine Warren to investigate and say, yes, it's haunted by a demonic spirit. So after reading all that, I kind of thought back on it, and I was like, this is just too perfect to dethrone them from what brought them into the light,
Right.
Go back to that very first story, and DeFeo come out and say, no, it never happened. I wanted to kill my family on my own. Where, it's kind of like, there's just too much. Like I say, the fanboy in me is still fighting that it's not, all this stuff's not true.
Yeah, for sure. But there is a level of degree. There's intricacies within this. Like apart from the SA allegations, which are very serious um, and don't like come over it like if it's nothing. But there are variables as far as what's true and what's not. And just because of that one factor, that doesn't necessarily mean that everything within the Amityville horror case is fake just because of the allegations. There's a separation between the two. You have to critically think that way, and you can't just be automatic with it just because of the allegations that Ed Warren had or has, I should say. It doesn't discredit what happened in that home or the hauntings that did happen. Because we've seen it before on this podcast ages. I think we shared it like a couple times on this show when you guys were a part of it, or some of you were a part of it, and the old lineup was still on Paranormal Dudes, where there's a picture of like a demonic young child like by some stairs in a doorway. Like you can't, that kind of stuff, it doesn't like align with the SA portions of it, or it doesn't align with the insanity plea. It's just there's certain things within the case that they don't align with it being completely untrue. Now, is there dramatization? Yeah, of course. This guy was trying to push his brand and kind of put them in the limelight and make them mainstream. And ultimately that happened. Now, does that mean nothing happened at Amityville, at the Amityville house? No, that doesn't mean that. In my opinion, I feel like there's degrees and certain levels and intricacies to the story opposed to just being like, oh, nah, this Ed guy is he's a fucking weirdo. So, yeah, fuck this. The case isn't real. I'm not gonna think that way. That's just me though.
And that guy saying that he never heard anything and that he never whatever and that Ed and Lorraine was hired to plead insanity, like he could just be saying that shit too because he doesn't want, you know, people to know that he's a psycho.
Yeah, he doesn't want the publicity of him being a psycho. Yeah, I totally
Right.
get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I think as far as like, go ahead, buddy. I'll let you finish.
No, I was just gonna say, I think you meant
pivot,
it. I think you meant it the other way, because him pleading that there was no spirits that forced him to do that would make him a psycho, versus the spirits forced him to do that. He's not a psycho.
He's a psycho either way.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, like, I don't know. That's why I say, like, these are the stories that I read. So, like, I know I'm being subjective to what everybody's saying, but I still want to believe the Amityville horror went the way it was described.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just all this stuff I read today has just got me like, whoa.
And I totally get where Jesse's coming from, that he is a psycho. Yes. You also have to remember entities or very strong entities like the one in the Amityville horror case, they prey on people that are like that have vulnerabilities. So it aligns with it. Maybe he is mentally ill. Maybe that is the fact. It doesn't discredit the paranormal side from it. That's what I'm trying to outline here.
Right.
It doesn't discredit that.
Yeah. And I was going to say something similar. Like, I also don't think that, hey, all these cases are fake. I do feel though that as somebody that, I mean, we don't know what his master plan was, right? I mean, we kind of see it today, but back then we don't know exactly, or now we can't ask him and be like, hey, what was your intentions behind this whole thing? But I feel like anybody that I feel like that was a certain age of content creation.
It was then that era's form of content.
Yeah,
Right.
because even people today, like as true as you want to be, and like there's gonna be some sort of like, I don't want to say lie, but some sort of that, like,
Fakeness.
and you'll never get none of that fakeness here on Paranormal Dudes. It's all
Never.
going to be real.
Never.
So we try to bring the realest shit that we can. But I feel like if he had that in his master plan, like that's where, what Buddy said about the whole, physical, verbal abuse, trying to kind of put her in a certain way. So that way, hey, like, let me move my strategy around and let's create this. Right. And him being the authority, right, or the self-practiced demonologist, well, who's going to tell him, hey, you don't know what you're doing, right? Or you're wrong, or you shouldn't do this.
I mean, and it's like two separate things, like you said. One is business and the other is his personal life. And he just happened to be this way in his personal life. And he was just a good business person, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
think
not really going to affect the other.
Yeah.
I think Jesse's right on that.
Yeah. And then just kind of jumping in now into like him being the authority, right, in demonology, and kind of, I guess I don't want to say the word using Lorraine, but in a way using her for, her gifts and what do you think that just like Judith Penney in that certain area wanted to escape, you think Lorraine was kind of just like trapped in that certain system that he knew what he wanted to do, but she kind of didn't?
Absolutely. And it's like, I mean, we don't like to get too serious, right? But in reality, it is a cycle of abuse, and that's what happens. Like you stay trapped. You don't know what to do. Especially, like we had like mentioned before, like you don't want to ruin this image and all this freaking hard work that you've done. So te vas a aguantar.
Yeah, and to add on to that, how do I say this in a YouTube compliant way, or Spotify compliant way? You don't a certain person that acts in this way as they're grooming, it doesn't stop. So that's like the beginning portions of the abuse is the grooming part. It's got its full cycle. So I don't think it ever stopped. It just
It's like
kept
part
going.
of the manipulation. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. A big part of it. For sure.
So maybe, just with everything, the cycle, like Sergio says, like maybe she felt trapped, but also maybe sometimes are good. And we're doing cases together and we're becoming famous and we're doing this. Oh, he
And I
abused
got
you.
a new Louis bag.
Exactly.
That story about them meeting at a movie theater. Apparently the friend set it up, I think, but I don't know if you read the same story, but the friend set it up and he told her, oh, like, get whatever you want. And she got something that was 5 cents more expensive than what he was offering or intended or something like that. And he told his friend, I told you she was a gold digger. That's what I read.
Oh, that term existed back then? That's crazy.
Of course it did.
Gold digger?
Yeah. It's like an old saying.
There's not like a 60s saying for that. Now I'm curious. What is gold digger
in the
1960s? Pursuit. Yeah, it was used. Okay. All right. Yeah, it definitely was used back then. I wonder if it was coined around that time. That's interesting. Okay. It was actually coined in 1920, so that shit's been around forever.
Damn.
All right.
Well, isn't that Gold Digger song like an old song that they just remade?
Kanye? The Kanye one?
Yeah, but isn't like the original
Ain't
one?
nothing but a gold digger.
Yeah.
That was actually like an old jazz song. It was very slow and proper.
Didn't they sample from the jazz song?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay. There's a little truth bomb there. Now
that we established
established the gold digger part, we can move forward.
All you gold diggers out there, keeping it real.
All you gold diggers, just so you know, you've been around since 1920.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Our audience, it's a very heavy and serious episode. We usually crack jokes. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
For real.
If it took you out, because I cracked a joke or it upset you, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to break it up a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. I guess I kind of use this, buddy. I don't know if you want to get into it before I kind of just show some pictures of them, just to kind of break that little like I guess seriousness before we go into our like.
Well, we could talk about the case that Sergio would really be into.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
no.
Let's do it.
The one of the phallic spirit,
Mm.
What?
the tube steak murderer.
Cut it out.
This
Yep.
is real? Is this
Yeah.
real?
No, I just wanted Sergio to get excited. We can go to
Oh my
the
gosh.
pictures
He
now.
wanted you to get excited about a tube steak, and it worked.
I was like, huh?
The pictures of what? The phallic.
This-
Oh,
The phallic spirit.
shapes.
He's
I was about to
tube
say,
steak?
okay.
all right. So this is one of. I'll just show the websites that I was on. One of the research ones, but
The disturbing allegations of Ed. Okay.
You know, like a pimp status with those glasses, or he just had a cataract surgery.
he got his Pradas or his
Mhm.
Versace's with his Hugo Boss. Dang,
Dude,
he
he's
got like
gotta be-
4 layers
okay.
on, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say that. He's got to be hot as fuck in there, right?
He's just
Is
a
it
cold
cold? Maybe
guy.
it's cold.
Just a cold
Well, I mean,
guy.
they were
He's-
like from
he's
Connecticut.
cold.
And it's cold out there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks hot as shit where they're at right there, but that's just.
Well, if you look at that car in the background, it has snow chains on,
What is. It does?
doesn't it? Yeah, that Cadillac
I
back
can't.
there. It looks like it has like snow chains on it.
It just looks
Famed
old.
demonologist Ed and Lorraine Warren were accused of horrific abuse in 2014.
So that's
Holy
very-
moly. Who is this? Addie? What's Addie? Okay.
She's them a little bit younger, or him younger, because she was already young.
Okay, but you see this right on this article. So not only are they accounting all of the allegations that Ed already has, but now they're trying to couple in the validity of the paranormal within it. See, and that's where I think people need to kind of separate the two and
Mm-hmm.
then make a decision, not just be like, oh, it's all bundled together. It's all horrible. So it has to be fake. I don't think that's the truth. That in that portion, that's where I'm at right now. I am teetering towards believing portions of the allegations. I'm not going to say that I believe it. It's more of, it's possible that it could be true is where I'm currently at. But I'm also separating the two of the cases themselves and all the paranormal side. They could definitely be true. Just because it's coupled with the other side of it doesn't necessarily mean that it's discredited only because of
Right. Mm-hmm.
that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And also that's only pictures I wanted to show, but
Were there any pictures of Judith?
yeah,
Yeah, what does she look like? Curious.
and I also think too, like, I mean, you can only imagine how much is going on, number one, in their life because of the work they do and
Right.
the relationship and strain. And I mean, I'm not saying if these things are true or not, but an excuse. But
Mhm.
I mean, once you're put in that position, you would only know, right? So
Wasn't Judy's the daughter's name in this last movie too?
Yeah, that's the
Yes,
name of
the
their
daughter is
daughter as
Judy.
well, right?
Yeah.
hey, for real, huh?
I just
Right.
put that together. It's not the same person though. Can't be, right?
No, it's
Oh. Judith Penney. It's like, oh, look at that hand. That says a
Mhm.
lot. Okay. Well, audience, if you're watching that, just take a look at that picture. You could make a conclusion just off of that almost. She kind of looks uncomfortable or like she's
Well, yeah. look at
indifferent.
her.
She looks indifferent almost.
I think this is her when she's.
That's Lorraine Warren.
That's Lorraine.
Oh,
That's Lorraine.
That's not her.
The daughter? Are you looking for the daughter or who?
No,
I think
Penny.
that's the daughter.
This is the daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Judith Penney, is that Judith Penney the one that he's hugging? That's her, right?
Yes.
Can we confirm that's her?
Judith,
Let's see.
Judith E.
Oh.
Ed Warren.
Yeah, say Judith Penney, Edward. I mean, for all we know, like they could have been possessed all these years.
Honestly, dude, like there's not a lot of pictures of this girl. They probably scraped the internet.
Yeah.
Of it.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing is, I mean, that's the only thing that I found as far as.
Now I'm curious. Can you click on that Hollywood Reporter link?
Yeah,
And
that's
that's her.
really odd.
I mean, this also, where we're talking about nothing really came up. But if we look at the time, what was it, 2013 when she brought out the allegations?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when the movies were already full swing. Everything was coming out. They were making money. You can also say, and I'm looking at it right now from seeing this. I'm looking at it like
she wants
fanboy
money.
Status. Yeah, she wants
Like
she wants
a
money.
piece of
She's
the
trying
pie.
to burn them.
I mean,
Yeah,
if that happened to me, I would at least want that.
But I mean, even like fanboy side of me is like, did it really happen now? Or is she just making this up because Ed was already dead by then?
The timing,
so it's like,
because of the timing of it. Is that what you're saying?
The timing and the fact that the Warrens, the movie came out about the Warrens, they were going to make money. So why not? Let's take advantage and jump on all kinds of these claims.
What if the NDA or something that she had to sign or someone in production had to sign was like expired, or somebody messed up and then she was finally able to say something without facing like legal allegations herself?
Right. I wonder if this article, let's see. I mean, I get what you're saying, buddy, because that's another portion of it that is a critical thinking area for not only us, but also our listeners or viewers, that, the timing of it when she came forward.
Or maybe it was the business also that was like, let's release or let's finally put this allegation out right now so people can think she's just wants money.
That's also a possibility. So the first time she came forward, you guys said it was in 2013. It was the first time she came forward.
14, right here.
14.
November 2014.
Right after the Conjuring, the first Conjuring. The first Conjuring came out in 2013. So, okay. But Jesse's right. I mean, it could be that the NDA expired and then she could come forward and say something. But
because he passed away 2006.
But taking like a 1,000 view of all of it, like a 1,000 foot view of this, isn't it odd? And this is for everybody here and our audience. Is it a little odd that information on Judith Penney herself is very limited on Google?
Yeah, and it's all kind of the same.
It's like they stick to the same story, right? Like this is what happened and that's it.
I'll probably have to cut this part out.
And just go look at the article in the Hollywood Reporter if you want more details.
Yeah.
I like how his Bonsa is just like chilling.
He's like free. And then he has a scarf. That man will be fashionable. If I were gonna go like fight a demon or something, I feel like I would wear like sweats, like a headband.
Like Jesse's like planning on her wardrobe.
I don't think I would wear like a nice jacket and like a pulled scarf here. I don't know. It's just
so just to say this for our audience, if you want to read that article a little further, it gets a little detailed and graphic. You could Google it, and it's on the Hollywood Reporter, and it has some details there, and you could read a little further into it. We can't really show that on the platforms that we're on, unfortunately.
So I mean, just kind of winding down, I guess now is like their image because of Hollywood, the fame, people not knowing the deeper stuff, right? Just like, I mean, I would have been part of that group if I didn't know, if I was never on, a podcast where we talk about stuff like this, I would have never known that, right? As far as in the paranormal communities, though, that's where the debates happen, or where they're at, right? Because people are asking, are they heroes who help bring these paranormal studies to the spotlight and like what we know now? Or were they people that were manipulating and build an empire on lies and abuse.
Deceit.
Yeah. So, should the Warrens' personal scandals change how we should view their paranormal cases? Well, I think just like we always say on the show, that's up to whoever's watching. Right?
Yeah,
There's always going to be that skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
All those different
Always.
things.
Sure. Well, I guess this is a perfect time for us to kind of. I'm no longer on the fence, just so you guys know. I'm kind of. Sergio's kind of split. I'm kind of split on it, where I'm teetering towards, okay, it's a likely possibility that some of the allegations did happen, both the essay portions and the dramatizations of some of their cases. That's gonna happen. That's just how it is. I mean, you could see that in modern day media when it comes to the paranormal, when it comes to ghost hunting. A lot of people practice that, some more than others, but totally discrediting the validity of the cases and saying that it was completely flawed and it was completely fake. I think that is where I draw the line, where it's kind of like, hold on. Just because of all this other information, it doesn't mean that the paranormal phenomena didn't happen. It doesn't. If you really think about it on an intellectual level, the essay and the dramatization of certain key moments or portions of cases, it doesn't discredit the entirety of the cases themselves. And not only, and you also got to take this into consideration as well, is you might be thinking it only from the viewpoint of the Warrens, but you have to be fair to the people that the cases it happened to. Like, you also have to think of them. They went through these traumatic moments. So you can't give it a blanketed response only because Ed possibly was a fucking horrid human being. But that doesn't mean these people didn't experience these traumatic instances in these cases. So don't discredit. I don't think it's fair to discredit that. And that's where I currently am when at the end of this episode. And that's how I view this. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'll get off my soapbox.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same. I feel like you can't discredit the cases just because, like I said, one is business and one is his personal life. So I have no doubt that this stuff happened to this girl and that they lived their lives that way and that he was a certain way. But that doesn't discredit, the cases or what the people experienced, and there's no doubt that maybe they did help them. Like, they did help them.
Yeah.
Maybe they were great people in helping them. They were to these people, right? Because they went through all this weird shit. But it doesn't mean that, in their personal lives, they're
That they were
like
pure in
certain
their
things
personal
and
life.
they're
Yeah.
right.
For sure. Yeah, it's true. Because there can be a separation of the two.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What about you, buddy? What is the
This
inner
one,
fanboy saying?
this is this is what I want to hear. Yeah.
He's like, I don't
Fuck
care.
this
So-
topic.
He's like, I don't care.
Yeah. Bye, guys. I quit.
Yeah, buddy. What do you
I'm going to
think?
turn in my my paperwork for the HR for leaving this podcast.
Oh my god.
No, actually, look, I became a fan of the Warrens because of the movies and
Right.
the romanticism that comes in the movies and everything. I want that to be the Warrens. I don't want to hear that they had anything in the background. And when
But
I
it
decided,
can be, buddy. It could be
No,
the
it can be.
glamorization of their on-screen personas to say that they're like their own character in a way, and it doesn't have
no,
to
yeah.
mirror what reality is, I guess. If you
no,
want
and
to
I
take it in that
completely,
light.
I completely agree with that. I mean, what I'm saying is, I want them to be the on-screen couple. But
Right.
once we decided to talk about this, and we said you and Oscar can, me and Oscar can tag team it. I said, you know what? I'm really interested. I really want to find out more of the story because I'd just seen like a snippet of a video saying this is the true story.
Right.
So I said, I'm going to go and look into this. And looking into it, I was like, I tell you guys, I was like, I'm going to be subjective because I'm seeing and reading all this stuff. But on the other side of the coin, I'm kind of like, I want it to be what I see on Hollywood. But now going through this, hearing you guys talk about it, and kind of getting a more well-rounded idea of what happened here, I'm kind of, the fanboy in me is still there, because I'm still kind of like, okay, you know what? You're right. What happened at work is separate from what happened at home.
Mhm.
And whatever the allegations are, whether it's PDF files or essay or spousal abuse, whatever's brought up. I mean, in the end, they were living in a different time. And if we look at that time, there was a lot of other people that probably went through that same thing. Not only just
Yeah,
by
I feel
famous
like that
people,
was
but just your regular
yeah.
Joe Schmo,
Mhm.
It's sad
And
to say, but I think you're right. I think during
yeah,
that time, that shit was normalized back then. It's sad to say, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing, or it's it's passable. It's just that's unfortunately how it was in that era. But go
yeah,
ahead, buddy.
yeah.
Sorry.
And I mean, that's just thinking about it that way and seeing it that way now, and hearing you guys talk about it. I kind of brought back the fanboy in me to say, you know what? I'm not going to discredit, any of their cases. I'm not going to discredit anything that they brought up, their museum, anything like that. I think I'm going to continue being a fanboy and just kind of follow along. And I want to be able to experience this stuff too and see what they saw, or one day, visit the museum if possible. Um, I think I'm going to keep following as a fanboy and like what I've known so much about them, and try and forget about the personal extra stuff, because I think it's just that, it's just the discrediting that they're giving to the Warrens is, I mean, for anybody, I guess it would just destroy you as far as your reputation. And so I think I'm just going to lean
Yeah,
towards the fan side of it.
and I get that. Anybody that has any level of notoriety, that you are going to have people that are quote unquote haters, um, and they'll try to tear you down. And I think that happens to every degree of anybody that's a presence on the internet or in Hollywood. And and like we said before at the top of the podcast, it's just up to everybody as individuals to make their own discretion, or at their own discretion, make their own decisions. Um, and I get where you're coming from, bud. Like it's also a likely possibility that all of this information was coming out because they're trying to tear them down. And I understand it. That I understand it, but I'm not there because of the, like you guys said earlier, the repeated patterns of SA that are reported, and that's where I'm at. Yeah, I just wanted to add that to what Buddy said for sure.
Cool. Well,
Ask
appreciate you
what
guys
about you,
sharing.
Ask? It was the three of us, but what about you, Ask? Don't be
Well,
afraid. Don't be afraid to say it.
After, like I said, I didn't know about any of this, right? It's kind of like
Mhm.
you find this out after you broke up with your ex and you found out what happened.
Yeah.
After you're not, that's the feeling that I get, right? I absolutely hate them now. I never want to watch any other movies. I wish I could unwatch all the. I'm just kidding. I just want to see your guys' face.
I'm like,
I was like, damn, he's going all like scorched
oh my
earth over
God.
here.
We're gonna edit this out. We're gonna edit this part
I'm
out.
just kidding. No. I mean, I see it like, yeah. I feel like I agree with you guys. I was on the fence while I was reading this stuff but at the same time, it's like, okay, look, like what you guys said, work is work, business is business, life is life, right? And they were coming up, and just like anything, people want to find how to bring them down. And that just
Right.
happened to happen nowadays. Why wasn't this ever brought up before?
Right.
Well, that's because they weren't big. They weren't a target. What happened in their life happened. We don't know. We weren't there, right? Different time, different everything. But the work that they did, you can't say that there isn't paranormal activity, that there isn't
Yeah.
that this stuff happened. You can't say that, right? Nobody could say that. Right now, I feel like it's gonna come down again. Like do you want to believe it or do you want to be a skeptic? And that's how I feel the paranormal community is, right? Like, you will only believe it until it happens to you.
Yeah,
right?
True.
And unfortunately, it's going to be the same. And we'll never know because, I mean, they both passed on, right? All we are going to see is the rest of whatever the masterpiece was of what they want to create, and the people that have hands on what they want to pursue, right? Whether it be the kids or whatever. But I don't think that should make somebody not like their movies or the work that they do, right? That's completely different. So I'm okay with it. Like, I'm fine. But I feel like Buddy said, like, it's just knowledge that you know, right? And hey, I wasn't there. I was not in his shoes, so I can't really say that.
I feel like it's like with anything else too. Like you can say something negative and it'll turn into something positive. Like knowing this, maybe someone's gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna be more interested. Let me watch their movies more. Let me like look into them more. Let me do this. So it kind of in a way, like regardless of how horrible the allegations are, it still makes them more popular in a way.
Yeah. What's the saying? How does the saying go? There's no such thing as bad press. Is that how
Right.
that
Yeah, no
goes?
bad
Yeah.
publicity. Yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly,
Any
like the
publicity is
people,
good publicity.
yeah. And honestly, like the people that I feel that are like trying to tear them down or whatever, like, oh, like they're trying to like keep their image intact or all this different stuff. It's like, dude, well, isn't that what people do today on Instagram?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of
all the
people
time.
do.
Everybody
It happens
does.
it happens all the time, dude. All
So
the
why
time.
are we just, or why are they just targeting these people? Right? So
See,
it's like,
and I think a lot of it boils down to the understanding part of it, and understanding part of everybody's opinion. And I think that's what's lost in today's day and age is there's no more understanding. It's more of you're fucking wrong and I hope you die. And
man, you need to think like
Right.
me.
See it my
yes, you
way
need to
or
think like me. Think my
right.
way or
The highway.
or the highway. And I totally get, buddy, you're an Osc because you're able, if you're able to compartmentalize or create a separation between the two and only look at the movies as for entertainment value and also the validity of their cases, and because of the experiences you guys have had, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's not going to discredit it with all this other shit.
You're like,
That's
you
just
have failed the psycho test.
you guys
10.
are fucking crazy. I'm just kidding. And I totally understand where you guys are coming from, for sure. And I'm kind of there too. I'm not. Am I gonna watch another Conjuring movie? Yeah, because I love scary movies, and I haven't seen The Last Rites yet. I'm the only one that hasn't seen it yet. But it's not like Ed himself is featured in the movie, and I have it. Like you can't take that part away from all of the people that are on the production, everybody that's involved, everybody that works with it. I honestly feel that's very important to be able to separate the two if you want to. If you don't, if you're completely disgusted with it and you want nothing to do with the Conjuring universe because of this information, that's fair too. Everybody can have their own opinions and feelings and operate how they want to operate is what at the end of it, since all of us have already kind of outlined where we stand on this subject, we want to know where you guys stand on this subject. So if you guys would kindly leave us a comment and let us know what you think about these allegations, and if you're able to separate many parts of this story, whether it's the movies, the actual cases in real life, the validity of these cases, and also, the actual essay allegations and the horribleness that's been brought to light about Ed Warren and also Lorraine Warren, because she's kind of an accomplice in these allegations. So let us know where, and we would love to get in a discussion with you guys because we're all a community together. We're all dudes, and everybody's opinion matters, especially if you're part of our audience. Yeah, that was a crazy episode. I'm totally fucking drained. It's no, I'm not. It drained the shit out of me. Like, really,
I just want to apologize to Ethan if you're watching this and you don't know any of this.
Ethan, if you're listening to this crying in the corner in the fetal position, we're sorry.
That's me. That's Ethan. That's Ethan. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spot.
He's hugging his Ed and Lorraine pillow, custom pillow that he made.
The plush like this.
Yeah.
I would love to hear Ethan's. If you guys are new to the show or haven't really caught the episodes where my brother's a part of it, Ethan is. I really haven't gotten much out of him as far as these allegations go, so I think he'll see most of it if he watches this episode. I would love to hear his opinion on it, but we're like at time already. I think it's a good spot to end the show. I want to thank everybody that's been watching and engaging with us and talking with us. We still have a lot of plans in the mix. Ethan is back in the fold, and we have some exciting news about that. Ethan is going to be handling in real life content, meaning ghost hunting. We will be posting some ghost hunting videos sometime in the future. We need to iron all the details out. Jessie just launched her show a couple days ago. The Paranormal Palette. I kind of want, so I edited the show, and there was a portion of the show where it says, "I can't believe she let me edit this," and I wanted to scare Jessie. But after that, it went smoothly. It was a fine episode. It was good. So her shows, if you like true crime mixed with paranormal and some get ready with me stuff, Jessie's your girl. Bud and Osk, we are going to be filming some of their new episodes to their shows really soon, especially Buddy, because he wants to talk about the new movie. I'm sure he's jonesing to do so. And I actually can't wait to watch it as I'm editing it. Outside of that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment, and click that notification bell. That way you know when we have future uploads. Do you guys have anything for our audience before we bid adieu?
Go buy our merch. Very cute stuff. And if you want to see, put a comment on an episode if you want to see any merch, and we'll make it. So if you want a hat for summer,
any ideas, we will.
Any ideas?
Yeah, if you guys want something in particular, we will discuss it and probably make it happen. Just let us know. Bud, what you got?
Just letting everybody know out there, like you've said several times, all this is subject to debate, and also everybody's entitled to their own opinions. And, just want to let everybody know out there, we're not trying to discredit anybody or push anybody away. This is just open topic here. And also, us at Paranormal Dudes do not support any PDF files, no essay
whatsoever,
and no domestic violence.
I was going to say pretty much the similar thing. Just don't take anything so personal. We're just here to talk about it and get your guys' opinions too. So the more you guys interact, the more it's better for us to, kind of see what you guys are thinking and what we can bring to you guys in future shows.
Sure. Well, that's the end of the episode. You could go now. Or you could wait for me to say, we'll catch you later, dudes. Wait, don't I say something else? Oh, yeah. We will catch you guys on the next one.
Boom.
See you later, dudes.